Picture this. The phone rings. On the other end, Real Madrid or Barcelona. The offer. Life-changing money. The biggest stage on earth. The world is watching. And one by one, they said no. Not because they lacked the talent, but because something deeper refused to let go. Tonight, we're stepping into the shadows of football history. The choices that still echo in dressing rooms today. The footballers who looked the two giants dead in the eye and walked away. This is iconic era. Liverpool, summer 2005. Anfield is still buzzing from that Istanbul miracle. Steven Gerrard, 25 years old, is the heartbeat of a city that bleeds red. Real Madrid come calling. A serious offer. Florentino Perez's people are already circling. But here's the thing. Gerrard doesn't hesitate. He looks at the Anfield turf, the cops still singing his name, and he says, "I can't leave this." Could you imagine that kind of pressure? 80,000 Scousers who see you as one of their own, versus the brightest lights in Europe. Years later, Gerrard admitted it might haunt him. "It may be something I regret down the line," he said. But then he paused. It would have been an even bigger regret to leave Liverpool. He stayed. He lifted that Champions League trophy in Istanbul. The sound of the net rippling in that final minute. The only thing that broke the silence of 80,000 people holding their breath. Real Madrid tried again in 2010. Same answer. Steven Gerrard didn't just reject Real Madrid. He chose love over legacy. And in doing so, he wrote one of the purest stories in football. But while one Englishman anchored his boyhood club, another icon in the Eternal City was fighting his own battle of the heart. Rome, early 2000s. The Eternal City holds its breath. Real Madrid come calling. Not once, not twice, multiple times, including a personal call from Florentino Perez himself. The Galacticos era is in full swing. They want the number 10 who makes football look like poetry. Totti is in his prime. Roma captain, the soul of the club. He later confessed he was 80% ready to go. The money, the titles, the chance to wear white. It was all there. But then he looked out at the Colosseum lights. The Cava Sud singing his name. His city. His people. It wasn't weakness, he said years later. It was love. He turned them down. Every single time. He stayed. He became Roma. That impossible chipped goal against Lazio. The Coppa Italia when the club was crumbling. Retired at 40, still wearing the same shirt he pulled on as a teenager. The sound of the Stadio Olimpico on his final night. You could hear the tears in the roar. Francesco Totti didn't reject Real Madrid because he feared the spotlight. He rejected it because greatness, for him, already had a home. And across the water, another captain was about to face the same crossroads at the end of his career. Manchester, November 2005. Roy Keane's United chapter ends abruptly. Real Madrid come knocking. An 18-month deal. Emilio Butragueño himself calls. Keane's solicitor flies to Spain. The contract is basically done. But here's the thing. Keane runs out of patience. He's sitting on the toilet when the reality hits. Fear of the unknown. A new language. A new culture. He turns it down. Chooses Celtic instead. Years later, he admitted he regretted it. "I turned down Real Madrid for Celtic," he said, almost laughing at himself. But at the time, his gut said no. Could you imagine walking away from that phone call? Most players would have packed their bags before the ink dried. Keane didn't. He followed his heart. And in doing so, he reminded us that even warriors have moments when loyalty whispers louder than glory. But while Keane was saying no at 34, another Italian giant was facing the ultimate test of devotion just months later. Turin, 2006. Calciopoli explodes. Juventus are relegated to Serie B. Real Madrid come calling for the best goalkeeper on the planet. Gianluigi Buffon has permission to leave. The offer is insane. But Buffon looks at the black and white stripes and stays. "It was never about the money," he said quietly. He drags Juve back to Serie A the very next season. Those impossible saves at the Allianz Stadium. The roar that greeted every clean sheet. That was worth more than any Galactico paycheck. Buffon didn't just reject Real Madrid. He chose to rebuild a fallen giant. Loyalty in its purest, most defiant form. And the game kept evolving. A new generation of midfielders would soon face the same temptation. but with an even bigger twist. Turin, summer 2016. Paul Pogba has just lit up Juventus. Real Madrid want him. Barcelona want him. The biggest two clubs in Spain circling the French prodigy. But Pogba's heart is elsewhere. Real Madrid came to me. I could have also gone to Barcelona, he said later. They were interested. I chose to return to Manchester United because I had that in my heart. He follows his gut. The €105 million move back to Old Trafford. The world record fee. The boy who grew up at United coming home. Could you imagine turning down both Real Madrid and Barcelona at the same time? Most players would have seen it as career suicide. Pogba saw it as unfinished business. He reminded us that sometimes the biggest statement isn't joining the Giants. It's choosing the club that still feels like home. Yet even today, the phone still rings. And some of the brightest young talents are making the same defiant choices. The 2020s. The money is bigger. The spotlight is harsher. Real Madrid come calling for teenage sensation Lenny Yoro, the next big defensive star. Medicals are reportedly done. The Bernabeu tour is on the table. But Yoro says no. Chooses Manchester United instead. Alphonso Davies, Bayern's lightning-fast fullback, gets the same call. He stays put for now. These aren't just transfers. They're statements. In an era of super agents and nine-figure contracts, these choices feel almost rebellious, beautifully human. Every rejection reminds us, football isn't only about the biggest stage. It's about the fire inside, the club that feels like home, the decision that defines you long after the final whistle. We've seen loyalty win. We've seen dreams built elsewhere. And in every story, one truth remains. The greatest players aren't always the ones who wear the biggest badges. Sometimes they're the ones brave enough to say no. We've walked through the shadows tonight, from Anfield to the Olympico, from the toilet seat decision in Manchester to the heart-led choice in Turin, from captains who stayed to midfielders who followed their gut. These footballers didn't just reject Real Madrid and Barcelona. They reminded the world that legacy isn't bought. It's chosen. In an era of endless speculation and astronomical wages, their stories feel almost rebellious, timeless, human. So the next time you see a player linked with the Giants, remember this video. Ask yourself, what would you have done? If these stories moved you, if they made you feel the weight of those decisions, hit that like button. Subscribe to Iconic Era. Turn on notifications, because we're not done digging into football's hidden chapters. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Which rejection hit you hardest? Would you have stayed or chased the glory? Share this with the friend who still argues about Gerrard's loyalty or Totti's love for Roma. Until next time, stay iconic. Thanks for watching. Bye.